The European Union Ambassador to Nigeria and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Ketil Carlson, has advocated an end to gender-based violence in Nigeria. Mr. Carlson says relevant stakeholders and authorities should engage in aggressive campaign and measures to put a stop to the menace. Founder, Movement for Economic Empowerment and Growth in Africa, Ambassador Ifeoma Ejiogu joins us from Abuja via Skype to discuss this. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Right. Every time we always hear about this gender-based violence, so many issues surrounding it. Could you make us understand what are the various manifestations of the concept gender-based violence?
Yeah, thank you for having me with you to discuss this important issue that affect women in a very serious note. The manifestations of this menace varies from one culture to the other, depending on the roots and the areas such problems are coming up from. We have oftentimes heard and seen and observed and experienced where women are being beaten, molested, where women are being maltreated, where women are being abandoned, and so many things have also propagated the issue of women violence or the ferocity that women experience today. And we have violence in the families, we have it in the society, and we have it also even in the university, where it affects our youths. And this issue is something that is very, very important for the government even to take concern and do something immediately about it. Because we are talking about women are not contributing in the society. We are also talking about the rate women are not being taken or considered in some social responsibilities, even as regards to handling important development area in the society.
All right, Ambassador, let me
Once we are able
Ambassador
to handle this issue of cultural menace.
Madam, I'm afraid I have to interrupt because of time. Please let me ask this follow-up question because of time. You've talked about the government intervention as part of ways to end the scourge. With what you have seen, how sufficient has the government intervention been, and is it enough? Hello, Ambassador Ejiogu.
I didn't get you. Please.
Yes, you mentioned government intervention. Now my question is, how sufficient has a government intervention been in ending the scourge of gender violence, and is it something that government alone can do?
No, it's not what only government.
Carry on.
The reason why I mention government is because individuals, NGOs have been doing their bit in this matter. And the area the government has to come in is to look into some laws and cultures that people already know and have. Traditionally, most of these menace are coming from the way people have rooted the culture and tradition of the people. Women are not being regarded, even from childbirth. Once a family, once a woman gives birth to a female child, from that point, in some societies, in some places, in some families, is being hatred. She incurs hatred. So if government understands this, we are going to begin the change of our cultures. We have bad cultures that have been bringing about some of these problems. So apart from government, I also want to tell you that even NGOs have been doing a lot.
All right.
But we need more emphasis on this. If you consider the area of rape, how much had government, handled the prosecution of people that abuse our little children, our little girls?
All right. So these are some of the things. Ambassador,
come into this matter immediately.
All right, Ambassador. Okay, yeah, there are some of the things that we also need to point out. Of course, so many people are faced with different challenges, so many issues staring them in the face. But there are some women who are already breaking the glass ceilings. They are rising up, soaring above all societal issues to ensure that they stay on top of anything staring them in the face, and then they are called women. Is that to say that we're not having women who are now rising above these societal issues to ensure that they get on top of this, how do we put it, this violence?
I didn't get you very well. The transmission is not clear.
Okay, let me quickly brief you again. We are having some women who are now breaking the glass ceilings. They are rising above societal issues. Is that to say that we're not having them? I mean, these women are coming out to ensure that they rise above these societal issues. That's the question.
Oh my God, the transmission is poor.
Ambassador?
Well, I didn't get the transmission is very, very poor.
Okay.
I couldn't get the point you are trying to
all right. Thank you so much, Ambassador. I think we have to keep it there and move on.
Taking it upon themselves.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you for your time on the news.